1,000 pictures to go through. By the way, it's Saturday and we're looking at assignment 15. I've got
Hey
2,000
Don.
pictures to go through. Can you imagine 2,000
Mhm.
pictures if you had shot film? What that would have cost you?
Hey Don.
Yeah.
This is Tim. It doesn't look like my picture is posted. I wanted to see if you got it.
I posted them this about 2 hours ago.
I submitted it last night on the website. It was a redo of Watch Face that I did for the tear sheet assignment, assignment four.
Uh, you put it on the website
Well, I uploaded it through the standard, assignments
and you made sure
page.
it was in Saturday, huh?
Yep.
All right, let's find
And
out.
this is Chris, and I
Yes,
uploaded mine late. Sorry.
Let's see what we got here.
I'm pretty sure I did Saturday at least.
Do, do, do.
And speaking of absurdity in pricing or irrationality, have you
Uh-huh.
ever seen Exit Through the Gift Shop?
Exit through the gift shop. I know that.
It's about street art, graffiti, things like that, but
Uh, is that
it's
the one about
very
Banksy?
sort of, yes.
No, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that.
It's a good one. Check it out.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
especially in terms of irrational pricing, like towards the end of it, you just see how ridiculous it gets.
Yeah. No kidding. Um, I'm not seeing your picture. I am not seeing your picture at all. Now, is this Chris?
Hello.
This is Tim
Tim.
Sebring.
Tim, I am not
Yeah,
seeing.
and
Email it to me ASAP.
Okay.
you should have mine as well. This is Chris. I uploaded mine late. Apologies.
Christine.
Yes.
Christine.
Should be a chap sat on a um like a bench, quite blue.
Okay. Let's see here. Volumes. Yeah, boy, it's so hard on the Mac. I can't figure out this thing at all. So easy to do on the PC and on the Mac. I can't find my desktop. Nothing. Volumes. I should have my.
Okay, I sent mine to your Gmail address.
Okay. Uh, There's Tim's. Someone's going to have to show me how to do this FileZilla in a Mac because I'm just not getting it at all. I cannot network. I can't find my drives or folders. I mean, I had it earlier today. I had it because I uploaded the stuff and now can't find it at all. I don't even know where to put this.
If you open a Finder window on the left side at the bottom, it should have all
Yeah, but
your drives.
I'm in FileZilla to
Okay.
my FTP program, so I can take it off, and I can't.
Oh, okay.
In PC, you can drag it straight from the window.
I'm not
Um,
familiar with FileZilla, so
yeah, and in this one, I
I can't help you there.
cannot do it. Library, no. Oh, come on. Shared. No. All right. Chris sent his by email too. That something I think is terribly amiss. I think it may be the fact that this is running Maverick. There may be an update or something FileZilla because it's just like everything that I'm used to have been using for 10 years is now just simply gone. I expect that from Google. I don't expect it from other folks. Okay.
I've had a lot of people who upgraded to Maverick and have just had issue after issue with it. So you're not alone with that, Don.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Quite honestly, it's they're not big. They're not big issues. I mean, if I was not sitting here thinking I got to get this done so we can move on to doing what we need to do, that would be different. I could probably sit here and find it, but the little issues, the little things that sort of nickel and dime you, those are the ones that drive me crazy. Um, Believe me, I'm not unhappy at all that I moved to all Mac. Um, I'll be fine, but definitely, definitely other things to consider. Okay, now I got to go find the page. That'll be easy to do. The best thing, guys, if you can get it up the night before. I wish there was some way to double check to make sure you guys actually got them up, but there's not. So just someone built that loader for me, and then they got really busy with another project and have been doing other things, so they can't really help me maintain it. So, but I think it's pretty cool that we do have a loader. Always, always scary when we're providing people FTP access into our website. That's the public, so to speak, and that's what we've done with this uploader. So. All right. And we recorded all of that. So that'll be a really interesting first 5 minutes, won't it? Oh boy.
That's better than silence.
But yeah, I should learn to like just whistle while I work here. All right. So let's get going here. Assignment 15. Last up, first out, Chris Dean. Very cool. Close this and open it again. There we go. All right, tell us about this shot, Chris.
Yeah, so apologies for the late submission, but it gets dark here so early,
It's all right.
Day job's been quite difficult. So, yeah, so this is Ruben. He's part of a rap group. He's Spanish, but he's come over and he's living in the UK. But he's still working with the same. There's a few of them who collaborate together, so they're still working together. Like they send things to each other over the internet. He puts beats together, and then somebody else puts vocals on top of it and stuff. And I decided I wanted to include. I enjoyed doing the band shoot so much recently that I wanted to get some more musicians together as part of a portfolio. So put an ad up. He responded to the ad, and it turns out he needed a picture for an interview he's just done for a Spanish magazine, which should be coming out quite soon. So he's going to send them what we did today.
Yep.
So yeah, just met him today, found a location, lit it. That's it, really.
Now, how did you light it?
There's a big softbox on the right-hand side, like a vertical softbox. And then on the left-hand side, I'd done some headshots where I had a bare flash raking across that. You see that sort of textured wood. So he was separated away from the wood, and then the flash was on that side. But then actually on the left-hand side, when I got him then back against it, obviously that didn't work because it was going on the side of his face. So I just turned the flash around, and it's sort of in front of this orangey fence. So it was bouncing off the fence, and then that introduced these two different color temperatures, which I actually really liked.
Yeah.
The sort of quite cool softbox, and then the warm, which is also like almost like a softbox, to be honest, because it's just bouncing off this big fence.
Yeah. The first thing I noticed was the color change side to side. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it was pretty much an accident, but it was something I've been thinking about recently, looking at some pictures. Something I thought, I really need to start playing around with color a bit, and then this was sort of serendipitous. So.
I have been reading a lot of photographers are using gels on their speedlights now almost all the time. Slight warming or slight cooling gels, just depending. So you just did a natural approach to it. That's He's pretty happy with these pictures, I imagine.
I think so. I haven't given them to him yet, but he was pretty happy at the time. So
Okay. Let's get this back into Lightroom and let's get a little
mhm.
separation on his cap.
Yep.
Yep, it's gotta separate there. That's a very dangerous place for that dark cap to disappear. So we can just either bring the background up a little bit, and the reason I say Lightroom, you can use Photoshop uh, Camera Raw. We want to do it in the raw so we don't pull up a bunch of noise when we do it. So,
Yep.
all right, very good, solid shot. This would be Tim's.
Yes, I did I wanted to do a reshoot of the tear sheet assignment from week 4.
Okay.
Um, the first it's the same watch with the same black kind of velvety background, but I had only one light the first time, and it put part of the bottom part of the watch in shadow. And your major comment was that when you're doing a product shot, there shouldn't be any major shadows on the main part. So this time I lit it with 2 speed lights, one from kind of at the 6 o'clock angled towards the watch, and the other one at the 12 o'clock angled towards. So that way I would cut down on the glare from the actual face of it. But I kind of like the shadows on the top of the band just a little. You can still see it, but it still adds a little bit of drama. And I added 2 white cards on the left and the right
It's
to define the sides.
Yeah, this is not a typical watch shot. It's we got a lot of speculars showing off the patina of the
Yeah.
silver.
Unfortunately, I don't have a brand new watch, so I
Oh
didn't.
no, that's it. This is more of an artistic approach. And you know what? If this was an ad for the watch company, maybe not. This may not be the best way to light it. I think maybe really soft light is better, so we get a lot of stuff. But if this was a watch that someone had worn, maybe you're doing a editorial on some famous Illinois senator that has passed on 20 years ago, and you were shooting his watch or something of a memento type thing, then this kind of works pretty cool
Hmm.
because it's very different. It's not, and we have to keep that in mind, folks. We do. There's a difference between shooting an ad from somebody and shooting something editorial. If we were shooting John Glenn's watch, for instance, or um, the first guy to ever go up in a Armstrong or someone like that, we were shooting their watch. We probably wouldn't want to make it look like it was a bull of an ad, would we? I mean, it would be just wrong on too many levels. We'd want to make it look like it was a much different thing. Sally, we unmuted you, so if you mute yourself, it'd be great. We got to get ourselves to a point where we can feel comfortable with shooting something differently. And Tim, this is how I would see this. I don't see this as working for an ad, but as an
Okay.
editorial approach to the watch shot. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. Thanks.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The actual band of the watch did have a lot of scratches and whatnot. So I tried to go through and clean it up a little bit, but I still wanted to give it a little bit of age, not make it look like just like you said, like a brand new one.
Yeah, you can't.
So-
Well, and you can't fake that.
Right. So, yeah.
You
So
know?
even if I tried, I knew I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you can't fake it. If it's a watch that's been used for a while, you're just not going to be able to go in Photoshop and add the new watch filter.
Right.
Gives me an idea for a revenue stream, though.
And I made sure the hands were at 10 and 2, for the
Yep.
big happy face.
Yep. Well, that's because most of the time the logo is right there.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
very cool. Good job.
Thanks.
A ballerina. Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. We went with very simple lighting here. And is that a tutu? Or is that
It's a pool.
it's a pool thing?
Yeah. It's a pool noodle she's on in the background too. It's not a real bar.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool too. And she's got the swim goggles and the swimsuit on.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's adorable.
We had a good time. There were 8 kids, so I had a few to choose from.
And is this on white seamless?
Yeah, well, it's vinyl, but yes.
Yeah, vinyl. Okay. Excellent. And tell us about how you lit it.
It's actually just a speed light in a bounce umbrella. And I was gonna try and get fancy, but we were juggling the kids and they were moving around, and so I figured I would just do it. And then in the end, I liked the way the transparent blow up thingies cast a shadow, colored shadow on the background.
I like the shadow because it gives it dimension.
Yeah.
And, you can shoot these things 2 ways. You can shoot them away from the background with no dimension, and you can shoot them next to the background with dimension. What you can't do is shoot them next to the background without a shadow. So going in close to the background and getting that shadow, that's a choice the photographer makes. And I'm fine with it because it gives us it gives us a grounding point, a context. We know that's a wall behind her.
Yeah,
And
I actually
not
wanted
just
a wall.
an empty space. So
Yeah, I wanted a wall originally, but we
Mhm.
couldn't figure out a way to get one anywhere where there wasn't a bunch of other clutter and junk and stuff that would not fit in.
Mhm.
So we went with this.
So all the little girls are in pool
Yeah,
pool tubes and swimsuits and goggles and stuff.
flippers and things, yeah.
What a great idea.
And then doing dance poses.
What a great idea. How fun. Was this a job you did or is it just something for fun?
No, it was for fun. We had the kids, a friend of mine and I had the kids at the lake this summer, and we were laughing about how those rings look like tutus, and then it just kind of went from there. So we're gonna print it. I mean, it's a bunch of different kids from different families, so we're
Uh-huh.
gonna print them all up and put them in bathrooms or whatever, so that everybody has an assortment.
Very fun. Very fun. Nicely done.
Cool. Thanks.
Nicely done. Ooh, a close-up product shot. Bye. Whose is this? Tammy. Oh, Tammy's not here? Oh my goodness. I'm going to talk to Tammy in just a little bit. So, okay. Tammy, when we're doing shots, oh, I love this light back here. Oh, God, that's so cool. Really, really do. This little light back from behind the paper. Oh, it's very, very nice. I love that. We've got great sharpness all the way through here, but we lost it at the tip of the pen, and we can't. No matter what, we can't. This is our hero, and our hero can't go out of focus here. Need to stop it down, one more stop, whatever we have to do to keep our hero in focus. The pen company, for instance, if that was our client, the pen company, this is their baby. They want to see it. So it looks like we needed one more, either that or it looks like we might have missed focus here. Looks like your focus is just beyond the point. See it right here? I can see it picking up right here. And then, of course, this comes into focus back here, so I don't know what the heck's going on there. Maybe this is a multiple exposure. We'll have to find out from Tammy. But yes, we cannot have. Jorge, mute yourself. There we go. Cannot miss this tip. Nope. But wow, that's just gorgeous back there. And the light on the pen is very, very good. We've got this great highlight here. It's falling off. We've got one up here, and then we let the pen go dark here. I wouldn't have. I would have found another card just for this pen, because remember, this is their bread and butter. That's their baby, is that pen point. And Leah.
Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Multiple exposure?
No,
No.
but I did do a trick. This is funny because it was at f4 ISO 200, and when I pulled it into Lightroom, it was this weird ugly, muddy brown color. And so then I went into Camera Raw and played around with the white balance and found something that I liked a lot better and took a copy and then brought that over the top of the original white balance, so a 2-layer, because the new white balance completely whitened out the moon and it was flat. So I needed to bring the moon back the way I had it originally.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of turned into a multiple exposure, but not more of a multiple white balance.
Well, what's interesting to me now, is this shot in the evening or?
It is.
It is, because I mean the exposure of the moon. Can anyone tell me what the exposure of the moon is? Anybody? Come on. What's perfect exposure?
It's full sun.
Same as full sun. Sunny 16. F16 at ISO 100. So that would be F16 at 100th of a second. So you shot this at F4, you said?
Yeah, F4 at ISO 200.
And what was your shutter speed?
200.
Okay, so the moon should have been blown out.
And it was when I corrected the white balance. You're right.
Okay. And
It was just
yeah.
mind-boggling to me. So it was such a good learning exercise. Then I recall some time ago, somebody had a park bench with a light outside, and you showed them how to make the light brighten.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I did that around the fringes of the moon. I made it look like it was shining because it was very flat.
Well, look at you. That looks great. Well, because you've got this purple and stuff, it's very atmospheric, right?
Yeah.
Because I can see. This looks like you maybe did a little bit in Photoshop here to bring this up back in here, right? Am I right?
No, it really was like that. That's a mountain range.
And is there like what's making that fog bright? Is there like a city or town or something over there?
No, it was some weird fogginess. We just had a weird.
What the hell planet are you on here, Leah?
I know, and it was so bizarre and beautiful, and it just was so unrealistic but real, but it worked, and I don't know what I mean,
it's like the fog is glowing on its own back here. And what I was
behind those trees, I did dodge that to bring the mountains back in between the trees. It just it was so much luck everywhere, all the way around.
Well,
Crazy.
It does look like there's mist in the air. It's a foggy kind of. There's definitely, these trees are in front of those trees. These trees are sharper. Those trees are going into the bluish kind of the foggy kind of stuff. So yeah, if the moon was up there and it was just there, it would look terrible. It would look like somebody, it would look like a thumbtack somebody put on it. So you added this little light flare around the moon here.
Nice. It was very flat.
Very nicely done.
And then down at the bottom at the fence was all kinds of things that didn't need to be there, like power lines and just stuff. It just got all cleaned up at the bottom.
Very nicely done.
Thanks. I'm really proud of this one for once.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool shot, Leah. Pretty cool shot. What I like about it is listening to you talk about it. You didn't just snap a picture, you made a photograph. And the world presented you something that you saw the possibilities in, said, I'm going to make this shot. You pulled up the fog back here. You worked with your white balance. You killed out the power lines. You added something to the moon. You actually made this photograph instead of just stood there and took it. And that shows that you're thinking about the shot. And I would imagine, by the way you're talking about, you were doing a lot of that thinking as you were taking the photograph, knowing what you were going to do, other than the color balance thing.
No, I think it actually all started just in Lightroom, seeing it how ugly and muddy it turned out, and being disappointed, and then playing with the white balance. And I really learned a lot about white balance on this,
Mm-hmm.
and then realizing it was only at f14 when I should have been probably at f16, and just the whole thing.
Oh, I thought you said
I had to
F4.
f4, yeah, and I should have been at like f11 or f16. So it really led me down a lot of different bunny trails, researching this and going, wait, what did I do wrong there? And going and looking it up. And
You know,
it really,
at this shot, I mean, as far as exposure, I'm still dumbfounded that the moon looks that way. As far as exposure, I get it, but as far as depth of field now, going to f16 wouldn't make any difference because these are already at infinity anyway. Once you're out at infinity, f16 isn't going to make these trees in focus and that out of, I mean, more in focus. It's all in focus at infinity.
okay.
Only as you start to come anything from infinity closer, then you start getting with depth of field. So had you moved closer to the fence, for instance, then you could have then shot it at the same f-stop you did here, where this fence was maybe half the size of this picture. Then those trees right there would probably be out of focus at f4 because of the distance. But once you're out at that range, once you're out at infinity, you're just in focus from infinity beyond. And no, I'm not Buzz Lightroom. Okay. John McAllister, nice, very nice shot. It was a beautiful shot, Leah. John McAllister showed us how he put together this shot. John, you there?
Hi, John.
Hi, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
You did a really good job. Now, you asked on Facebook, and I answered. You said, could you do this with just light? Well, yes, you could, but you did this with one light. No, you couldn't.
Yeah, that's right. Just one light.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it with multiple lights. No.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a challenging shot with multiple lights. With one light, it's a remarkable shot, beautifully done, just absolutely killer shot.
Thanks. Eric come back to me online actually and said it might have been an idea to have made the highlights slightly yellow to add more realism.
Can I ask how you did the background on that?
The background, I cut out the bottle and then I just run a gradient across and just let some of the background come through, the original background.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with the yellow highlights because I think that the client would balk at that because it would start to make the glass itself look like that the bottle itself was yellow.
Yeah.
And you remember they get real picky about stuff like that. They spend a fortune on the shape of this bottle. The designer they spend a fortune on this label and the logo here. For a national cognac company, they may have paid $10,000-$15,000 for this logo. Double that for product development, for product design. So before they even print the label, put the logo, and put it in the bottle, they're $50,000 easily. So they want to see it. They definitely want to see it. So beautifully done. Wow. And thanks for showing us all your hard work. John, this is a real learning experience for you, huh?
Yeah, it's the first attempt at trying to do anything like this. I was watching that How to Be a Commercial Photographer, and I saw him, the whatever his name is, Rob Grimm, is it? Doing the whiskey bottle, adding loads and loads of lights, and I thought, there's no way I could do that, but maybe I could do something similar. Or some inspiration there to actually get out and do something different, because this wasn't going to be my original picture. I had a cityscape of London as my original exceptional picture, but I didn't put as much work into that as I did this.
Well, you know, London or booze.
Hmm.
I think I'm thinking you made the right choice.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it. Yeah, thanks.
This is a very good cognac too, by the way.
Yeah, and it's unopened. Christmas.
Christmas, huh? I was once with a very full of himself client who, when I say full of himself, I mean this guy was a real egomaniac. And we were sitting in the restaurant after the shoot, and he's like, and we were all just gritting our teeth, like, please let the time go by so we can get out of this guy. And he decided he was going to show us all what class was. He says, I know you guys aren't, real classy, so let me introduce you to something. He calls a waitress over and asks for a round of Grand Marnier for everybody. And it was pretty much all I could do not to just one of those. I was glad I wasn't drinking at anything at the time, or I would have been all over the table. So very nicely done. Damian Powell. Wow. Damian, what did you do here? This is this a real gig? Oh, don't tell me Damian's not here. Oh no. Damian, dang it. I want to find out what this is.
Don,
Yes.
he talked about it on Flickr.
Ah.
That's an actual cover for his band is putting out an album, and it's not finished yet, but that's the cover they're going to be going with, I think.
Damian, this is great.
He's got a write up on it.
This is really beautiful. Oh man. That's just really beautiful. There's just absolutely everything to like about this. Wow. What do you guys think? I mean, isn't this stunning?
I was really hoping he would be on today because I was looking forward to hearing him talk about it.
Yes. Well, you know what we're going to do next week when he's on? We're going to come back to it.
Okay.
Because I want to hear him talk about what he was doing to make the shot. I mean, it's kind of a natural light. A lot of stuff going on here. But what's even more important is he sees a story here, and I want him to talk to us about that story, because there's definitely a story in this thing going on.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I've seen a lot of CD covers, and the way he, like the front cover versus the rear cover. I mean, it matches perfectly with all the professional style CDs out there. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think the world of this shot, Damian. Great. And we will next week when we get Damian, we will definitely ask him about this.
It almost wanted me to. It almost made me want to scan that fake barcode on my phone just to see what would happen.
But it may not be a fake barcode. It might actually take you to.
No, it's 1 through 0. It's
you're right.
All fake numbers.
Yeah.
Said he's waiting for the real one to put it on there, so there will be one on there, but a bit of time.
Oh, I know. It was just funny.
Yeah, very cool. Oh, neat. Wow, what a bunch of talented people. So Damian's a drummer, right? I believe he is. I believe we were chatting once about drums.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of a retro-looking car. Who would buy that? So, Andres, tell us, is this your new car?
Good morning, Mr. Jonathan. Not yet. Hopefully in about 10 years' time I pick up something like that. That's my very first car shot. I always wanted to give a try. Start shooting cars, but it was that was something I always shied away from, really. And that's just a regular pic I took in a parks, in a local parks, car park, and just with natural light. And I started looking up videos regarding retouching techniques, and I started practicing.
Okay.
Basically, and yeah, and that's why I ended up with. I took the picture a couple of months ago, to be honest. I
Is
started
this
working
is this
on
light
it.
over an overcast day? Is that why we have
That's
such?
an overcast, that's sunset, so it's the sun is just going down on the left and hits from that side.
Uh-huh.
And basically, what I try to focus on to try to get rid of the unwanted reflections, as I didn't light it. I had lots of unwanted reflections on the body of the car, and that was the main issue, basically, to try to work around those. And that I had another car on the right, which I had to get rid of. I had some bushes on the left as well, which I had to get rid of. But overall, we tried to, I think I managed to save some details there. I posted actually the original pic on the Lighting Essential page,
Okay.
from today's assignment, so it's there. So if any of the guys want to have a look, so they can see the original shot and then what came out of it eventually.
One of the things you want to remember about shooting cars is there's 3 major ways to do it and variations thereof. Number 1 is they'll surround the car with white material. Because the car will reflect whatever's out here. So white foam core panels stitched together with white gaffer's tape, making a giant wall. Then they light the wall so the car reflects it. You'll see in studios very much the same thing, where they'll hang a 30-foot by 60-foot silk over the ceiling, paint the entire room, or in the cove, they shoot from the cove out instead of into the cove, so that everything the entire cove reflects in the car. So that's the number 1 way to do it. The number 2 way to do it is very, very natural. And you'll see that a lot more in brochures or in car ads that are in more like lifestyle magazines, in which the cars are moving or they're going down a tree-covered street or whatever. And in those cases, there'll be all kinds of reflections in the cars because that's fine for that.
Part of the whole idea, yeah.
Yep. And then the third way is to shoot it right at the moment the sun goes down. So if the sun was over here, and we're on like a top of a hill, because you've got to, if you have buildings in front, you're going to see the buildings. So where we have a clean horizon. If the sun is up right here in the middle of the horizon, for instance, we're going to have a big old yellow sun.
Yeah, that's true.
And as soon as the sun hits the horizon, it's gone, and now you have this big lit up horizon. And that's the third way to do it. You wait for the sun to just clear the water or just clear the top of the mountain, and then you have a very clean highlight of sky, bright sky, and whatever is in the foreground. And for just a minute or two, they're going to match pretty well, unless you're dealing with something that is inherently dark,
And it's like a very tight. It's a very short period of time there. So it's just a very tight time frame you have there.
Yeah, you're set up for hours, and then you just sit and wait.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. It's been very useful. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, very cool shot, Andres. Well thought out, well produced.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. The idea for this week was exceptional, and everybody's meeting that. So we have Thad. So there's a product shot here you did, Thad. Very cool.
That's right.
All right, tell us about it.
It was a real challenge.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something a little different, definitely different for me, and I kind of got the idea of the splashing water on the shampoo bottle. And so I set the bottle on the shelf in the shower, and I've got one flash and an umbrella to the left. I kind of crammed into that end of the shower, and then on the right side I had another flash bouncing off the wall of the shower with a blue gel on it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I learned a ton just by playing around with it.
Then you just like poured a little water from a cup or something onto it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was throwing a cup of water at the shampoo bottle and trying to catch it as I was doing it. So this was like several hundred shots until I got something I liked.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The way it goes. Yep. Then you get into the crazy guys who will actually find this little bit of drop of water from one shot they like, and they'll bring it over, and you can go nuts with it. The addition of the little whatever that's called, their loofah thing or whatever, is really cool. It just adds a real sense of reality to it that I like a lot. And of course, the blue gel just breaks this up a little bit and gives it some great color. That's a very good product shot.
Thanks. Can I ask one more piece of input on this?
Sure.
You see the Suave logo at the top?
Yeah.
See how the it's kind of broken up by the water splash.
Right.
Big failure?
No, but I was just going to say that's the only thing I would fix.
Okay.
So go in there, outline that Suave label. You're going to use. Do you know how to use your pen tool?
Yes.
Yep. Pen tool it out, those letters, and then make them dark. Add the black to them, and then because you've got a little bit of water coming over the top, they've got to fade back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But the Suave people are not going to want their logo to disappear as much as it's disappearing here.
Right.
They'll put up with a little bit, because it's cool. So, but that's what I would do. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Or
great. Thank you.
Or find another. Were you on a tripod?
Yes.
Okay, so you may have another shot where the Suave logo looks great.
Oh yeah.
You might just be able to bring that logo over and then blend the water around it just a little bit. Yep.
So yeah, I have several hundred shots I can pick from. So.
We did a workshop in Atlanta, and we were doing pour shots, and the idea was to catch the pour hitting the glass. And one of the teams set up the glass, set up the camera. We had funnels that we bought down at the car, I don't know what it's called, Car King or whatever those places are. We had funnels, and they poured the wine through the funnel, and the guy took his first snap. And what he caught was the wine hitting the glass on the far side and coming up and making a perfect question mark above the glass.
Oh my God.
First shot. After that, they did 25 shots in a row and never got the splash. Wow. So sometimes luck just plays a big part. So very cool. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Shane's, right?
Yes, sir.
Shane, that's a very nice portrait.
To be honest, it's not what I had intended to create, but the two models who I was going to get just kept having scheduling issues. And so this was the individual from last week's shoot, and I traded some portraits with him for him to throw himself into that invisible wall. So
I really really like this portrait. It's a very simple portrait, and yet it is. I would tell you this: if you had a portfolio full of portraits like this, that would really be something. Now, this is One Light.
Yes, One Light. I did have a second flash that I was trying to add a little bit more dimension to his hair on the left-hand side of the image, but I didn't end up liking it, and so I got rid of it. It was just too
you don't need it. This is,
you know what I mean? Too processed or something.
Yeah, too Sears.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It wasn't working.
I would your background here, I would say this might be something for you to think about, is to try to get 10, 12, 15 people, maybe they're entrepreneurs, maybe they're artists or whatever, to do this very simple, very clean, very nicely done portrait with.
Mm-hmm.
Take out the little speculars right there.
Yep.
All those. And boy, those are thick glasses, aren't they?
Oh yeah, he's got some thick glasses on, and I'm pretty sure those speculas are actually from the gym lights because we shot this in the same gymnasium that
Yep.
we shot the hit the wall
Yeah.
shot. So
Well, this is very nice, and what I like about it is it really, it's just such a simple portrait, and of course he's a big part of it. You know, he's really giving you a really great expression,
definitely.
just a fantastic expression. And I really, really very much like this this shot, and I like it because you didn't overdo it. For some reason, on this shot, it just looks great. So I would bring that same background kind of thing, same color and everything, and work towards a series of somewhat relatable portraits.
That
Like I
sounds good
said,
to me.
yeah, all maybe if you're at a gym, maybe it's all boxers or something. Who knows? Really well done.
Hey Don, I've got a question real quick.
Sure.
I photograph a lot of people with glasses, including my kids, and I have a really big problem with the glare in the glasses. What are some of the things I can do to help prevent that? Because I don't want to photograph them without their glasses on.
Well, you have to, if you're going to photograph people with glasses, notice where Shane has his light. It's not on axis of camera. It's way to the right. So it's probably more than 45 degrees. Am I right, Shane?
Yes.
Almost side light.
Yeah. It was
the biggest
very
problem.
side lit.
The biggest problem I have though is like in natural light when I'm like outside or something.
Oh, then there's if you're in natural light, no, there's nothing.
Okay.
There really isn't.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little bit better then I guess.
Yep, the glasses are going to reflect whatever's in front of them. I know that the glasses that I have are these non-glare lenses, and they don't reflect as much as my wife's, who has regular glass lens, real fine glass lenses. Hers reflect a lot. We were noticing the other day, mine don't, and I don't know if it has to do with the coating or what. You can still see the world in my glasses, but you're not going to see it as finely detailed as hers. Now, if you're in the studio, one of the tricks you can do is to have them tilt the glasses down just a little bit. Did anybody watch my Creative Live? Any of you guys watched the first Creative Live I did?
Missed
yes,
it,
I did.
unfortunately.
Okay, do you remember?
I was there.
Sorry. Oh, that's right.
Went
Tracy
away,
was there. Do you remember the guy with the glasses? They said, well, what happens if you shoot glasses? Do you remember that? And I took the shot and there was no glare. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. But
I can remember that.
I was like, yeah, just like that. Like, I'm going to take credit for that. I was like, I have no idea. I couldn't see it through the lens, but of course, when strobes fire, the world changes. So, so you can actually have them tilt it down just a little bit, bring their chin down. And if the light's up here, as they come down, angle of incident, angle of reflection goes away. But I side light them as much as I can, just like Shane did here. That's side light all the day.
Thanks for the tip.
You bet.
Can I make one quick comment though, just because it was something I should have done?
Yes, absolutely.
He that shirt was actually white, and so I was foolish and did not recommend a shirt for him to bring for his portraits, and that was a mistake that I definitely should have been more mindful of.
Oh, okay. So, well, you did a very good job with the colorization.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean the white was just like, your eyes just went straight to the shirt. You didn't even look at his face. It was just it was bad. So
white shirts are great. I love white shirts. I generally dress in black, but there's always been this sort of stylistic thing. I love the look of like a khaki pants and a white shirt. I like that. But for photography, I try to never shoot white shirts on men for photography. There's almost nothing you can do. It's just a great big massive white sail in the middle of your picture, and tough to do. Yeah, you got to be very careful with it. And what a great learning experience. You won't make that mistake again.
That's for sure.
Yep. Now, it doesn't mean your client's going to show up in the shirt you told him to, but at least you'll know you told him to. So, Chris Aldridge, yes. This is a nicely done shot. Chris, is this a studio shot? It's very quiet. I cannot hear Chris. Chris, not getting you. Getting any audio. Chris, I'm not getting audio, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by, see if you can go, if you know your mic's working, go in or just go out and come back in, and we'll see if that works. See if we can get that mic working, and I'm going to go ahead and go past this, and we'll come back to Chris in just a moment. And Jorge, out there in the water. That's some very still water, Jorge.
Thanks. That was one of the during the little time I had to take my own pictures while I was down at the beach.
Mm-hmm. Now is that the Gulf of
Thailand, I think, technically.
Wow, look how smooth the water is. No,
that part you could go about 500 meters and it'll still be chest deep.
Wow.
So,
and it's, it's like there's no waves or anything. Is that
no?
Maybe that's because it's in the Gulf, I guess.
Very still there.
Oh, there is waves?
No, very still.
Oh, very still.
Yeah.
Very cool. Found a girl with some long hair.
She was one of the dancers, so put her in there and tried to get as many as we could before the sun totally disappeared. She enjoyed launching herself.
Well, she did a good job with this one.
Yeah.
So that's our sun up there. And then you got her right in the specular on the water.
Yeah. So it was like, because she doesn't launch straight up, she goes at an angle, so had to anticipate where she would come out. There's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, for these kinds of shots there is. And then of course she's so far away, it's hard to yell at her to move this way or that way, so you just have to play it.
Well, I was the one who moved because I can just use her as the pivot point.
Yep.
So.
And you're always moving because they can't hear you. They're making too much noise. So are you on a tripod here or are you handhelding it?
Handheld. I wasn't going to stick the tripod in the water.
Okay. And then...
shutter speed was like 8,000, actually.
Really?
4,000? Yeah.
I figured you were at a pretty high shutter speed because, I mean, your depth of field is minimal here. You're really dropping off. And I know you're not out at hyperfocal. So what lens were you using?
I was using my 85, and it was f2 8000.
Yep. Nicely done.
Thanks.
Very cool shot. Did you how many personal shots were you able to get on that trip? Well, tell everybody tell everybody a little bit about the trip you did because it's kind of cool.
Oh, there's a dance company that I'm involved with, and we were invited to go down to a 5-star resort and do a show because they were opening their main restaurant, and there was like Cambodian royalty and that kind of people there. So we did the show, and then we were filming a promo video for the company and the hotel as well. So during the day, we were just shooting. During the harsh light, we were inside the rooms and then out for sunset and in the morning as well. So I was able to squeeze in a few after we finished. It was lots of fun, hard work. And I want to go back there because that's the one I was telling you earlier, Don. There's bioluminescence at night. So I want to give it a shot at a portrait.
Yep. What he's talking about is the the ocean glows from the plankton in it, which is kind of cool. And I think is the way several science fiction movies start up with the plankton glowing. In fact, I think plankton glows in Godzilla. So be really careful, okay, Jorge?
Yeah.
Nicely done. I'm going to go back to Chris to see if we got Chris. Chris? There we go. Chris, let me unmute you. Are you there? Chris? Hello? I can see you're unmuted, Chris, but I'm not hearing you. Sounds like a possible problem with your microphone.
You're after Chris Aldridge, aren't you? Not Chris Dean.
Yeah, Chris Aldridge,
Here,
right.
but...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, he's muted and unmuted. Chris Aldridge, I'm not hearing you. So we're going to do this anyway. If you can get it to work, pop in. I very much like what you did here. I like this back leaf coming behind this and being a little bit out of focus. So right at the point where we get this very sharp little spire there, it's a little bit out of focus in the back, and that just adds to the sharpness of the ones in front. Then we get out to the side here. It looks like we pick up a little focus. Color is just beautiful, and I think you did a very good job. It looks like a light table or a white seamless that's lit up, and then we're shooting through it. So I don't know if you did this outside or yeah, I don't know. It's not showing, Chris, it's not showing you as coming in on the phone. It's actually showing you as coming in on a microphone. So I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry about that. Huh. It's usually when you come in on a phone, it looks like I've got a little picture of a phone here, and I don't. I just have a microphone. So I'm going to leave you unmuted, and we'll see what happens next week when we try this again. But great shot. Wonderful shot. Yeah, I very much like everything about the picture. This is the kind of picture I would love to put on my wall. I really like it. Excellent. And Tammy came in. Tammy, where's Tammy's shot? Right here. Interesting. Tammy's shot won't load now. There we go. Is this Tammy's shot?
Yes, this is.
Oh, okay, yeah. We did a critique on it while you were out.
Yeah, I couldn't log. I was having IT problems. I'm sorry.
Well, the comment was, "I love this light back here. Fantastic." This needs to be in focus. Mm-hmm. It has to be in focus because this is their baby.
Yeah.
It looks like the focus is just behind it. So we picked it up in the corrugated, but we didn't get it on the tip of the needle.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was, see how beautiful this gold looks right here? We need more of that along in here. And this little black area right here, probably a space between one fill card and another fill card.
It is.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got to fill it in somehow. So maybe tracing paper or something that we can stretch between, because that would have really opened this up. Plenty of this little dark area right in here. This is fine. All of that is fine because it gives it shape, but we just don't want to see that black thing there.
It's funny because it doesn't look as sharp here when I'm looking at it as it does. I know that the tip of it isn't sharp. I guess because it was the angle. It's very shallow depth of focus.
Yep. So we'd have to stop it down just a little bit.
Yeah, or turn it just a little bit more so it's more on the. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Either way. Yeah, and then you'll hear more in the replay there. So.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about that. I just couldn't get on there.
No, those things happen. We have a guy over in the Philippines, and Dwayne, and he just has a hell of a time. Sometimes he gets the most absolutely beautiful, crystal clear audio you've ever heard, and then the next time he can't get on. So it's
Hey Tammy, I have a question about that picture. What was the background in that? That like that whitish.
That is a cheap, huge diamond thing. You know, that looks supposed to look like a diamond. It's like I don't know, it's like a plexiglass or something like that.
Okay.
It's like a decoration thing, and it was just to give something else into the background because I knew it'd be way out of focus and just be color or light or something. So it's just refracting light all over the place.
Oh,
okay, it looks really cool.
I was seeing it.
I had no idea what it was.
Paper. Yeah, I saw it as like folded paper. Interesting.
It looked cool when I put it behind there. I was just trying all kinds of different things, and I've got all kinds of different paper, arts and crafts kind of paper for macro shots. I love doing stuff like this.
Excellent.
I think that looks really cool because it, just like you said, it adds something into the background, but it's kind of abstract enough to not warrant a whole lot of attention, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Great work, folks. Fantastic work. Very interesting. Okay. All right. Did I mention Jennifer Boomer to this group, or was it the other group?
Must have been the other group.
Yeah, it must have been the other group.
Okay. Do you remember Jennifer Boomer, the photographer from West Texas West Texas that came on and did a little interview with me? She is going to do a live show with us. She's just finished doing a big promo campaign, wants to talk about what she did, how she did it, and how it's being received. And so we're going to do that, if not this Saturday, the following Saturday. We have to do it on a Saturday. I think it's the best time for me to do it to reach most people. So watch for it. I'm going to get back in touch with her today, find out a good time for her. Try to keep it up in the morning. Probably do it like the hour next Saturday, the hour after this. But it'll be live, so you'll be able to ask her questions, and she'll present it, and it'll be a lot of fun. So watch for the website. And remember, if you're registered at the website, you should get an email every time something updates there. So.
Hey Don, will that be the same type of GoToWebinar here as what we're using here? Or will that be something else?
No, the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, who's this? Tim? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the only thing I have found, Tim, that works.
Okay, cool.
For the vast amount of people, anyway, that it works. I try GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar was having some issues a couple weeks ago, so I went out on a quest to try to find something else. And every time I find something else, either doesn't work as well, or it won't record, or it'll show my screen, but it won't record my screen, or it won't have any ability for me to talk to people. So bang for the buck and features. This is the only one. There's one that I thought did everything as well, but it's $100 a month and it only puts 20 people on the call, and I have to have more than 20 people. So I don't mind the $100 a month. That's what I'm spending on GoToMeeting. Not a problem at all. But it's the only thing I've found that works for everybody for across the spectrum. So, all right. So, any questions? Any questions at all?
Don, this is Sally. I have a question.
Yes.
With the upcoming session where you're going to look at shots from folks individually.
Yes.
I tried to go in to log on to find a time, and it was giving me only one possible time that I could see, and it wasn't a time that would work for me. And I looked at that before, and you could kind of go through a calendar and drill down. But like I said, this looks like a little bit different system, and it was only giving me like next Saturday at 1 o'clock or something like that.
Is this where you were?
Oh, I wasn't seeing that. I was clicking on the link that was in the email.
Should have brought
and
you
then
here.
it was taking me. No, it didn't do that. I'll go back and I'll try again when I have time.
Yeah, because I've
And
got
look at,
it's like I've got a space open this evening at 5:30 is open. Tomorrow in the morning is open, and then next during the week I've got some here open and up here, and I think I even did some the following week. Yep. So
now those times, are those your times?
yes, my time. Yeah, we've had a
Okay.
couple people make that mistake, which is interesting because one of the things Pop Expert is supposed to do is to recognize your
time
zone and convert. So I've sent in a ticket.
Well,
that
you're in as
not
you go,
happening
so
here.
it makes sense that that's your time. I'll look at it. I'll go back in. I guess I can't. I'll go into Pop Expert and try to get in that way rather than the link in the email.
Well, the link in the
Can I say something about the time zone?
Yeah.
Because you have to go into your profile, I think, there's settings or something, and tell them where you are. Then it'll update the
that's right.
times on
That's
there.
right. Thank you very much, Tammy. When you create a profile, you tell them where you are, then it puts these in your time. Yep, that's true. Because it can't really know who you are if you haven't told it, right? So
exactly. All right, thanks, Don. That was my question.
Okay. Chris, go ahead, give it a shot. Chris? Chris? He was trying one more time.
Posted something on Facebook saying, anyone else use GoToWebinar on an Android device? He's tried a Bluetooth headset and regular handset and it's not working.
No. Yeah, I've used it on my Android. I haven't had a problem with it. He's coming through Wi-Fi on his Android, so it may be something in the hospital IT business, IT that's not letting him connect to this server because it's the streaming thing. We did have that with one of the guys in the other group. His work, he could not get on at his work, and finally he found out through IT that they block any kind of streaming, Skype, any kind of streaming video stuff was blocked through IT. So that may.
What are you supposed to do when you're at work then if they block your streaming? I mean, really?
Yeah, exactly.
You actually have to work.
It's almost,
yeah, I know.
It's almost as bad as blocking Facebook. I mean, my God.
The net doesn't surf itself.
Yeah, you wonder if Facebook wasn't available in your town from the hours of 9 to 5, I would imagine productivity would zoom through the roof.
Well, it's kind of ironic that you say that because the company where I work, they blocked Facebook for a while, and then they found out that apparently they have some kind of a strong partnership with Facebook. So Facebook found out about it, and they were not too happy. So they actually had to go through and unblock it at work now, which is, I think, kind of comical.
I do as well. I'm one of those people. I'm a total libertarian, freedom-loving guy. And I would say to companies, if the people are getting the work done, what do you care? And I would say to the people, if you're not getting your work done, we're going to fire your ass. So,
Well,
if you
I
can
completely
do it,
agree with you. However, there was an issue. Our company's network had a series of over several months. The performance was just awful. They found out that 60% of our outbound network traffic was Google Video and YouTube, which is now the same site. But once they blocked that, performance shot up by like 8,000%.
Oh, wow.
So it's you can get it unblocked, like if you have to do like online training, but you have to go through like a requisition process now. So there is kind of a technical reason for that, but the case.
But I totally agree, and you understand that what if production went up when they blocked it, then that means people weren't getting their work done.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people should be able to work from home. That being said, if you work from home, I expect you to work from home. You know, we had when I had the agency, we had a graphic designer whose wife got really sick, and he came and said, "Well, can I work from home?" And we said, "Absolutely." And that kid got stuff done. I mean, we never ever worried about, and we didn't care. You know, if he took the afternoon off and worked all night or whatever he did, we just didn't care. Who cares? As long as he's getting the work done. So
yeah, that's the way it should be in my opinion.
Absolutely. Chris has got a little phone thing going right there, so I'm going to see if that works. One more time with the audio pin. One more time with the audio pin. Oh, one more time. Chris, sorry, buddy. It is not working. It is not letting me unmute you. Oh, there you are. Does it work, Chris?
Can you hear me?
Hey, look at that.
Technology.
What would we do without it? All right.
I ended up having a dial on.
Tell me about your leaf shot.
It actually was done outside. That is with a leaf that I was able to find against the sky. I cloned out some of the other, there was a couple other leaves that entered the frame, and I just cloned those out and had to fix a couple of holes in that leaf, and that was the best one that I could find right about now. But I was able to blow out the sky, so it made it look like it was on a table or like I had cut it out. And, you know, that's pretty much what I got. And, you know, the hard part was finding a suitable leaf, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well done. I thought that, so that's a very bright, what, southern sky or something like that?
Yeah, it was just overcast, and, you know, because this tree was, you know, fairly well in a shaded area, just being able to get it against the open sky with the overcast, I was able to get it to look like that, which is what I was going for. I was trying to get, you know, kind of a single leaf, but, you know, the kind of like you were talking about, the leaf with the one behind it, you know, actually kind of worked because I wasn't able to get a single leaf. But when I saw that, I really liked it with the other leaf in the background, and just got rid of the extraneous ones around the edges.
Very cool. Well done.
Well, thank you.
Well done.
All right, now I know how this works.
Okay.
All right.
All right, folks. Any questions before we go? Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Thanks, Don.
All right. See you.